Y'all, peace and love, Knicks Nation, to my diehard true Knicks fans, to all my peoples, my subscribers, my man White Falcon 44, OG Audio, Blockchain Boy, everybody, what's good? What's popping? Welcome to the Vamp Camp. This is the Knicks live stream that I'm going to be doing every Saturday at midnight. And we're going to be talking about the Knicks. We're going to be talking about all type of sports. It's the sports snob, Phil Facts. Snobby sports. You didn't know? Well, now you do. Now, listen, y'all. We got to get this chat popping. I need y'all to start coming in, leaving comments. Let's get it popping. Let me hear what you think. So the first topic, of course, we got to talk about the NBA Finals because that just popped off. But before we do that, as a loyal New York Yankee fan, I just want to say that I'm proud of the Yankees and I appreciate the season that they gave us. And I'm going to touch base on the Yankees a little bit later. But I just want to let them know that I'm aware of what happened. We lost the AL Division Series, you know. It happens, man. We can't win every year, but we still the most successful franchise in sports history. So that being said, we working towards getting better, building, and becoming greater. So we'll be fine in the future. We looking good, man. Anyway, back to the finals, y'all. Jimmy Butler, this blood is for you. Yo. It's that fire. Yo. Jimmy Butler. I hate Miami. I can't even front, but yo. Damn, yo. They went from getting LeBron to now they got Jimmy Butler versus LeBron and showing out versus LeBron. Yo, Jimmy Butler is super duper clutch. And this kind of goes into that topic. I made a video about LeBron and Jimmy Butler having a lot of similarities, man, in their character and their will to win and their professionalism. But I gotta say, man, tonight in Game 5, Jimmy Butler showed why he has become special, man. And I gotta say that he's different from LeBron too. And we saw it. LeBron has a little history that his fans are in denial about. LeBron ain't clutch, man. LeBron shies away from that big moment. Every once in a while, it's just a glimpse of that shit. You see it. You see it. He did it tonight. He gave the ball up. I forgot who he passed it to. I think it was Caldwell Pope. It was somebody else after Jimmy blocked his shot. Man, LeBron. You see how Jimmy Butler took over this game? And he willed his team to win. And he took it on his shoulders in the clutch moments. And that's what LeBron fans don't get when people talk about LeBron's lacking and comparing him to Jordan and Kobe. How can you skip over Kobe and go straight to LeBron being the GOAT when look at what he does consistently? He gives the ball to an underling in the moment where he's supposed to rise. Not for nothing, he's bigger and stronger than Jimmy. Well, I don't know. You know, he is bigger than him, though. And you would assume he might have some type of edge and strength. Maybe he doesn't. Jimmy Butler could be stronger than he looks. Sometimes it's like that. But there was moments where LeBron's supposed to just take it to Butler. He was supposed to back him down, draw the foul. I mean, like, go horse, like you do all year, charge, steamroll, do what you always do to get them calls. And he just didn't do that. He went to his team in a moment where he should have took over. And I think we just see that too much, man. I guess you could say like LeBron's too unselfish. He's literally like just too unselfish, man. And it's funny because in the fourth quarter, I thought that the Heat was type choking because they had the lead. I think it was like under 5 minutes to go, and LA came back and they took the lead. And I thought to myself, like, damn, this is the moment of champions right here. This is where if LeBron does this, this gives his peoples, the right to be proud and talk shit and try to put them up and try to build them up, in that argument that's still a useless argument to have, but it would be an accolade and that it's something to add to their arsenal. Unfortunately for LeBron, he did it again. Now all the trolls and the haters is going to talk mad shit, which I don't think is fair either because LeBron is a special player. He is a once in a generational type player, and you know what I'm saying? Like his flaws, he's too unselfish. See, and that's kind of like why I think a lot of guys love Kobe so much. I'm gonna keep it 100. Let me explain what I mean. See, Mike kind of exercised and showed you and exhibited what greatness was. He didn't explain it. He didn't take the time to tell nobody shit. Mike just went out there and he bust ass, and you watch greatness and you learn by watching. Kobe was a teacher. Kobe, he bust ass, and he also, had that same mentality as Mike when it came to winning, but he exercised, sharing that mentality, which we call a Mamba mentality. LeBron doesn't have that mentality. Now he doesn't. He tries, but he's Magic Johnson. He's Magic Johnson. He's Scottie Pippen on steroids, but not on steroids. You know what I mean? Like he's a better version of those players probably combined. I always said that I think that he's mixed between Scottie Pippen and Magic. But when I say Magic, y'all got to remember, I'm a Knicks fan, but when I was a baby, when I first learned about basketball, I didn't learn about basketball through the Knicks. I learned about basketball because of the Lakers. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson were the first basketball players, and Dr. J, of course, that I was aware of as I was learning about basketball. And Magic Johnson, I remember Tragic Magic. I remember when that happened, and I remember everybody talking about it. And it doesn't mean Magic wasn't clutch later on, but he had moments where he had to learn. And as time went by, he became more clutch. So, like, because of that, I'm just saying that to say I still ended up being a Knicks fan. My dad is a Knicks fan, and it ended up rubbing off. But initially, I used to be around my uncles a lot, and my uncles big Laker fans. They were Knicks fans too, but my uncle Gorilla George, God bless his dad, Theo George loved he loved some Magic Johnson and Kareem. So that rubbed off on me first. Magic Johnson was my first favorite basketball player, and then afterward Bernard King and Dominique Wilkins. So really Dominique Wilkins though, straight up and down. I love the Knicks, but I always love Dominique. Don't start nothing about Dominique. Don't go there. Word. So like LeBron with the clutchness, I think that we have to once again go back to my theory of appreciating greatness for what it is. There's different types of greatness, and LeBron is a great player. He's just not the type of player that Jordan is or Kobe was. And to some degree, Dwayne Wade. This is why he went to Miami and started winning. And also, too, you want to defend the liberty that the players have to be able to exercise their power and move around. You want to celebrate that. That's dope. It's nice. But it is a problem when it comes to LeBron James. Kevin Durant too, but more so LeBron James, and I'm gonna say this why it's a problem with the way that he moved to win his championships. Um, I think it's the first time that you could honestly say, see, because everybody likes to go to say that, oh, the Heat wasn't the ones to put a super team together. That's not true. They were when it came to the players deciding for it to be a super team. All the other super teams beforehand was executive decisions made by the front offices, and whether they were corrupt, whether someone looked out, whatever the scenario and story that is behind what transpired to make those teams come together, it was still something that was, handled and done strictly by the front office. Not saying that the players didn't have input, but the Heat, that was a players' movement strictly. They decided where they were going to go. They conspired, the players did, without the executives' knowledge, I'm sure, until they all decided and agreed. And of course, Pat Riley was happy to make whatever accommodations necessary to make that possible because he was in a win-win situation. So, that being said, once again, LeBron fans, y'all got to stop being unrealistic and making excuses and trying to put him somewhere he doesn't need to be because he's where he is, and that's great already. Durant, as far as him going to get his rings like he did with Golden State, it's some sucker shit too, but because you lost to that team. So it's a different kind of sucker shit. It's not appropriate. And I have to be honest with you, another reason why this is really a problem, which LeBron also sets another precedent, man, basically, man, because I don't think ever in the NBA history has the best player in the entire league. This is where him and Durant are guilty because they at the moment of all of this happening, they were the two best players in the NBA. And for them to give that kind of example and chase rings is whack. They're the first best players in the league to do some shit like that. The best players in the league throughout the history of the NBA usually stood on their teams and stuck it out and built championships if they were champions. Now, like I said, if a player got moved like Kareem did from the Bucks to the Lakers, then that wasn't on Kareem, that was the Lakers and the Bucks or the league, because we know it's a business. And we know that certain teams in certain areas, they like to keep it vibrant and keep a certain market, doing well because it helps the league. It's healthy for the league. So a lot of moves that were made in the past had nothing to do with the players deciding or having a say in the matter, especially not the best player in the league. So this is where a second strike comes in, and it is some sucker shit because you're the best player in the league. And instead of you staying on Cleveland and being patient and building the championship and earning your championship, beating the Celtics the way Kobe had to do it, beating the Pistons the way Kobe had to beat the Celtics, and whoever else Kobe was, it was the basic, the Spurs. I mean, there was a lot of good teams in the West when Kobe was playing. So, and LeBron, the East wasn't the best. It wasn't better than the West, but it wasn't trash when LeBron played. They had one or two dominant teams though, compared to the West having, more than at least four teams that were, strong. So, there's no excuse for LeBron. Like I said, not being patient. I always hear he went to the chip with nobody, which is so whack. That roster that they had, they were young, but they had potential, and you don't make it to the finals if you're trash. So that's bull right there. That's another, how do you say, that's being hypocritical, man. That's a hypocritical, position to take because a lot of those guys might have turned out to be a lot more legendary, or the careers might have stood out more if LeBron stayed and didn't abandon the team. And hence those guys, whatever success they were building, that shit fell apart once LeBron left. And then by the time they did get Kyrie, and you know, it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new system. It's a whole new journey. So this is why Kyrie had issues with LeBron coming, because he felt like that was his team, his mission, and he wanted to build a chip. LeBron left. This is where I always thought that. This is why I say the NBA is a business. I always thought that LeBron, he had made a deal with Cleveland, and he knew that Miami was going to have to compensate Cleveland for him leaving the first time when he left, and he knew he was going to go back to Cleveland and bring them a ring. He felt that, you know, get them some draft picks, get them some value for him. He'll trade him. He'll sacrifice himself for a few years, go play in Miami, see what he could do, and just come back, because Cleveland will have, you know, some more assets available for him to try to win, which that's what turned out happening. It just, I mean, I know that just sounds so easy to say after the fact, but it does look, it was kind of transparent though. You could kind of see that though. I mean, it was a plan. The NBA has been, this is where being a Carmelo fan and a fan of other players like Kobe, you start to see that the NBA is a business, if you haven't noticed that before, because, you know, they had other great players, but you realize that the NBA got this formula of trying to find a chosen one and deeming them, you know, whatever, putting them on a certain status because it's marketable. You know, the most dominant player and this and that, you know, they want to get that Jordan recipe going again. So they always trying to figure out, this is why now I think the NBA is in trouble. Because you know, I've been saying this for a while. The league has gone, you know, to a European style. And I know that, you know, most of us basketball traditionalists notice that. People try to say it's a race thing, but there's a lot of white people that love basketball that are American that realize the shit too. It's the truth that they've Europeanized the game, which means that they've set the rules a certain way to change the tempo of the game and to change the style of play, because the athleticism and the speed that was used was a formula that wasn't allowing the European players and the Asian players and any other players that were foreign to come into the league and dominate. They could contribute. We had very good players from Europe, man, that I liked growing up. But they didn't dominate. And I heard some people you know, blaming certain players and certain eras, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This was something like most things that these big corporations and the government, all of that. Most of these things they do, they're planned. And what happens is they look at the money and the interest that they're receiving. When I mean interest, I mean like China, for instance. China is a foreign power, a foreign country, but they have so much money invested in the NBA because there's so many people in China that are fans of the NBA. So the NBA really does value China's contribution and, you know, their participation in the product that they have is in the support that they get for their product, because they got like what 5 billion people, 10 billion, whatever. Out of the billions of people, they got 1 billion, whatever it is, even if it's one. The NBA got like at least I gotta say over 5 million people from China alone follow and watch the NBA when they broadcast the NBA. So that's money right there. That's jerseys, that's advertisement, that's support. That's just something that the NBA, they're a business. This is what they do for it. We may love the game and look at the game a certain way, but that's why they do what they do. Anyway, sorry to be long-winded about this European shit and all that, but you know, it's the truth. So, like I was saying, you know, they realized that, you know, certain players in certain markets were not investing in the league. And, you know, you got basketball is being played all around the world. There's a league in every goddamn country. I don't give a fuck where you play. You can live in Tibet. They got a basketball team, I'm sure. So we don't know, we don't realize how powerful basketball is around the world because, of course, we get fed certain information. But if you look around, basketball has been growing for a long time. Michael Jordan transcended the way basketball was viewed around the world. So this is what the NBA has been basically. What I'm saying is the NBA is scratching to try to maintain that, maintain that growth and that popularity around the world. So in order to do that, they thought scoring more points and changing the rules around, whereas you have to have a higher basketball IQ now. And also, too, your athleticism is limited because of the rules, as well as the fact that you can't play a power game the way you used to. So they changed those dynamics with the rules because guys like Shaq, see Yao Ming was nice, right? But he still couldn't fuck with Shaq. China bred the nigga. They did everything they needed to do to try to get them a dominant basketball player. And let's be honest, the reason why Yao Ming was a good player. I'm not saying that. I like Yao Ming. Yao Ming was good, but he wasn't a fucking all-star every year. But this is what I mean about the business in the market because of all of the people in China that voted for Yao Ming to be in the all. There's people in China that probably didn't even watch basketball, but just because of Yao Ming, they knew he was an NBA. They voted for him to be an all-star. So every year, Yao Ming was an all-star when he played in the NBA. So the NBA recognized stuff like that. I don't think it was, even though I say European, I just say that as far as the fact that out of the country and that's where most of the basketball is played. Most of the leagues that exist are in Europe. There are leagues still in other places, but there's several leagues in Europe. There's a lot of basketball leagues in Europe. That's why it's not a bad option for young basketball players to go overseas like RJ Hampton did and make some money and work on your skills, your game, and then come back. And it's an alternative to college basically, and it's a good one because it gets you set financially and it gets you to sharpen your skills. So I've always been one that I always supported players going overseas to step their game up. So like I was saying, all of this goes together. It all ties together. LeBron, the league change, and the league being desperate because right now they need a new star to carry the league. Why do you think they suck in Luka? Because they changed all these rules to make it so when a guy like Luka, because Luka's nice, right? Luka's nice. But if you look at Luka's game, he couldn't play the way he does in the 80s and 90s and dominate the way he is right now. He would have got shut down. They have point guards. See, right now, that's another thing. I realized too, and I was talking about that. They be putting stigmas on certain positions now that black players used to dominate because of certain skills. Once again, to make their rule set to accommodate players who don't necessarily have those skills, but have different skill sets. So, what I mean, point guards. You notice now how they always talking shit about point guards being small. Now they worry about a point guard's height. If they under 6'2", now he's small. When 6'2" was the average height of a point guard or shorter, you weren't really taller than 6'2" and the point guard. There was, of course, there were exceptions like Magic and a few other guys, but most of the time, the point guard was someone 6'2" and smaller, and anybody 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Sometimes they were a tweener, but if they could shoot, they would be the shooting guard or they would be the backup guard, whatever. Tweeners. You have some of them dudes like that. But most of the time, they were the two. Joe Dumars. There's a few guys that I could name that, they not 6'6", 6'7" in the shooting guard. Shooting guards were, like I said, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". But I noticed that what they've done is they put a stigma on height so that a guard that's 6'2", 6 feet, let's say 6 feet, like Iverson, 6 feet or under. A guy like, let's say the Knicks got Jared Anderson, right? Jared Harper, excuse me. He's, let's say, 5'11", 6 feet. Those guys are too fast for the European point guards. They are too crafty. They are just as smart usually, but are too fast. And they usually outrun, outplay, and make the European point guards look small. Their speed will look subpar compared to the smaller point guards that are American bred, usually black point guards that played in the NBA that are under 6'2". Those dudes made it to that level because they've always had that handicap and they're comfortable with it, and they have a high skill set that makes up for their lack of size. So they got floaters, they got penetration, or usually a small guard. He can penetrate, and he usually has very good basketball IQ if you let him run the team. The reason why that dynamic has changed is because of the rules and because of, like I said, Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson came in as a 6-foot guard who could score, and so the tweener, the guy that you couldn't tell if he was a point guard or a two, but he wasn't that tall, started to get the stigma and going down in height. Because the NBA don't need guys like Iverson, Marbury, killing Steve Nash on the regular. See, so a guy like Jason Kidd, when he was dominating 6'5" point guard, once again, that wasn't the average, but it helped to make that transition. A guy like Jason Kidd, having Steve Nash step his game up, even though Steve Nash is very overrated. A good player, nonetheless. I'm not saying that, but never going to respect those two MVPs back to back. That's bullshit. That's crazy. We'll talk about that another time when I got people that's joining the live. Boom. So yeah, like I said, so they basically Europeanized the game. They set it up. It didn't work with Yao Ming, but as the rules continued to change, now we got Luka. And it looks like it's heading in the direction that the league wanted it to go. But I don't know how long that's gonna entice the American audience, because we aren't enjoying this clearly by the ratings and what a lot of people were saying and talking. We're not enjoying this type of basketball right now. We're not enjoying it. Not like we used to. A lot of us, we miss the high flying. We miss the physical aspect of the game. We don't want to see play. We don't mind. We want to see players almost get into a fight. All that headbutting, fake headbutt. They don't even touch each other because you don't want to get suspended and this and that. I mean, I understand because it's not the UFC, but that edge that the game had is gone. It's so gone. And the athletic aspect of the game is really lacking. It really is. When you got guys like James Harden, no disrespect, but like his game is below the basket. He's very smart. But when he's the best player and the best scorer in the league, when you look at who were the best players in the league and best scorers in the league, you can't knock James Harden for adjusting his game to dominate the style of play that the league wants you to play. But you can see the difference in the type of game, right? He don't dunk. He's not physical. It's all about being smart. His game is built around IQ. All IQ. He mixes the other intangibles, the speed and the shooting ability. All of those things are the sprinkles on top of the IQ being the main thing that helps him be successful. And also, we get into the big man aspect of it. Same thing with the big man. They took away and put certain rules in place so that the big man that's athletic can't kill the Euro players, the big man and the big Euros, because the big Euros are more inside out perimeter players. They don't have a lot of post moves. A lot of them got ball handling skills and they can shoot. And so that opens up the floor, and that's the type of game that they want. They want the power forward who usually was like a second center, He grabbed boards, block shots, got putbacks. Every once in a while, hit a short jump shot here and there. But they changed that. They changed that job description, and now this dude that plays the four got to be able to hit threes because this is the type of game that the Europeans play, and this pulls the defender out from inside the paint, so that way the offense the guards, they can attack the basket a lot easier without the defense being there. Whoever they decide to use in their game plan to attack the basket. Whereas in the past, you would have a center or a power forward somewhere in that post, protecting that rim. So there's a lot of reasons, like I said, that the game is where it's at, and so you get the pet treatment of certain players. And I said all of that because at the end of the day, isn't it nice to see a guy like Jimmy Butler shake the system apart, right? Yo, Jimmy Butler, he's an interesting character. I want to talk about him. I told y'all I wanted to talk about the Jimmy Butler and LeBron comparison, which I kind of did, but that's not really that interesting at this point because Jimmy showed us another level tonight in the finals. So, LeBron, you got to step aside for a minute. This is about, I think Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son, man. Too many split screen pictures. That shit be making the same face. I don't know if I know you want to say Photoshop, but they be Photoshopping, putting this nigga face and this nigga face in half. And man, that his size, and his character, man. That Mamba mentality, that killer. He got it, yo. It's like natural. Like your pops passed that shit down. Like I got 3 sons, B, and they all have an aspect of me in a very strong way. And Jordan got several kids, and one of his sons, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I know that's Michael Jordan. One of his sons was going to make it to the fucking NBA. I don't give a fuck what you say. Maybe not the one he wanted to make it, not the one he claimed and raised, but that nigga, I believe, is Jordan's son, y'all. So how you think Jordan felt watching Jimmy perform the way he did tonight? Yo, Mike had to be proud, right? He had to be proud. That's not front, yo. Jordan sat there watching. He was cheering for Miami, right? Did you ever think about that shit? That nigga Jordan is actually sitting there, sitting on that 2-pick right now. But he like, yeah, man. That's my boy busting ass on the low. He calling Jimmy on the low like, yo, look, man. I know I don't be saying I'm your pops, but at the end of the day, man, it's in the genes, man. It's in the genes. Yo, I think that's his son. And I think Mike is enjoying watching right now Jimmy help limit LeBron to getting closer to him. I think that this shit right here is just like poetic justice, yo. This shit is mad. On the low, this shit is funny, y'all. Now watch how other niggas start talking about this shit too. And I said it first on this level, on this perspective. Word. Mike is sitting back right now like, yeah, get that nigga. That's my son. Slow that nigga down. He ain't getting nowhere near my legacy, right, son? And Jimmy like, word. I'm trying to step on his toes. Yo, shit is fire. Yo, if Miami wins his finals, that sounded nasty saying that shit. Ooh, that tasted nasty coming out. We need smoke. Ooh. If Jimmy Butler takes his team and they win this series, ooh, bonchinche. It's gonna be all kind of fucking gossip and shit going on, son. It's gonna be crazy. Yo, I'm gonna hear about myself for a whole half an hour, yo. Yo, y'all motherfuckers, yo, I'ma smack, yo, wait till there's a few of y'all, yo, y'all some bullshit. It's all right, though. I'm gonna keep going. Fuck that, I don't care. Just in case somebody may hop in here, who knows? Well, I know I've been talking about I talked about the finals and Jimmy Butler and them for half an hour. Yeah, the Lakers won. The Lakers lost 111-108 real quick. You know what I mean? I always write notes and shit. I be looking at my notes and shit. I already talked about LeBron choking and being too unselfish. I talked about Jimmy being MJ's son. Word, yo. The fourth. Oh. I just want to talk about one more thing about that game, and then I'm gonna move on. Yo, tell me you ain't feel like the fix was on for the Lakers when Jimmy didn't get that N1. And then LeBron got the N1 later. That's that NBA shit, right? But that's what make it fun watching that shit, because shit like that be happening to get you all emotionally invested and you be ready to fuck somebody up or curse somebody out. And that game was fire. That was a good game. That was definitely good basketball, and it's bad and sad that the NBA can't maintain that. And like I said, it's gonna hurt the league going forward. They need a new golden boy, and if Luka's the golden boy, that's not really good because you'll see. I'm not even gonna say it. Like I said, that kind of basketball is cool, but it ain't gonna carry the league here in America, man. We like to see niggas that could dunk and fly and do all kind of other shit. The shooting threes is cute, and we love Curry and all of that, but you gotta remember, we enjoyed and appreciated Curry while he was doing what he was doing, but we still had Kobe, LeBron, Vince Carter. Certain shit was still keeping us going to keep our taste for the things that we always have enjoyed about basketball. But y'all fuck it up when y'all trying to change the game too much. That's all I can tell you. And after that, I'm gonna keep it moving. So, anyway, real quick, man, the Yankees, man. Got to touch on the Yankees. Then after that, I'm gonna talk about boxing and the Giants. I could talk about real quick before I talk about boxing, because the Giants they kind of quick, but the Yankees is the fastest one, and I'm gonna get out the way. Like I said, the Yankees lost the American League Division Series to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, a fucking rival team that we fucking hate. And what I saw from this series was, for us, we have to be patient as Yankee fans. The bats, they growing, they learning, and they got further. We could use another bat. I admit it. It'd be nice, but because we're growing, we're getting better. We don't know if one of our players could have a breakout season, step up to another level in their game. And we got to see what's available right now. I'm not going to get into that because they just lost the series, so we're not going to start looking at shopping around, even though I know it's people already doing that shit, I'm sure, because Yankee fans is crazy, and they're probably already looking at every free agent and every possible move the Yankees can make already right now. But I'm not doing that. Y'all know me, I'm a little more simple, and I'll be freestyling off the top of the dome. So I'm not going crazy about the Yankees right now. It doesn't make sense because we just lost the series, and we could use more pitching too. I think that our pitching was pretty decent, man. And once again, I'm proud. We don't know, man. We got to give guys time. That last game, the way we lost, we lost 2-1. It was a pitcher's duel. It was the type, I hate those fucking games. I hate games where there's no scoring. But because of the circumstances and what was on the line, it was appropriate the way the game went down, and it was a nail biter all the way to the end. Yankee fans, we were nervous. Our pitchers, man, they tried, man. They gave up those 2 points, and it hurt us clearly in the end because our bats, they had better pitching than us, and we know in baseball pitching was what wins, and their pitchers held out a point more than ours. What could we say? On that note, I'm not gonna say good luck to the Devil Rays. I'm gonna just say that if, like always with the Yankees, whoever we lose to, I always prefer if they win the World Series just so that I can say the Yankees lost to the best team in baseball that year, and that's the reason why we were the champions. So I'm gonna just stay consistent with that, and I'm not gonna say the other words because I don't really feel any type of nice feelings, or I don't want to help the enemy celebrate their victory over our team. So once again, Yankees lost to Tampa Bay. They out of the ALDS, and so now I forgot who the Devil Rays play. But I don't care. That's why, honestly, the Yankees ain't playing, so I don't care. So all right, the Yankees is done. We got baseball be back around real soon. They're gonna start talking about baseball soon. That's another year-round sport. So we'll get back and more into the Yankees on my channel soon. I'll start focusing more on the Yankees going forward in the future. Being that I just got back on my grind with the videos, been a very long time, and it's been some years. Like I said, I got a old history on YouTube putting up videos, and it's crazy how it blew up now, and the technology everybody got, and all these great shows and programs and shit. I need to upgrade on many things. I need a better mic because my mic sucks, but I need a better camera. I'm not in HD right now. But at the end of the day, this is something I always love to do. So it was just killing me. I had to do something. So I apologize for the quality of the vision and the sound, but I am giving you, content from the heart, and I hope you appreciate it and enjoy it. And I do put in a little work, doing my little research, and I sit down, I take notes, and I think, I'm not just coming here on some bullshit, but I'm just trying to give you a raw perspective, So that's why I freestyle. I don't want to be you got a lot of guys sitting there like they're a newscaster talking all corny. You might as well put on a tie, and the button up, the way they be talking and shit. But I'm trying to be more down to earth. I'm from New York. I'm from the BX, so my peoples, we on some regular smooth shit. So this is how we gonna do. I want to give a few shout outs real quick to my Knicks Nation. Shout out to Nothing But Knicks, the Nick of Time show, Knicks Fan TV, Hebrew Remnant. Yo, shout out to my man Oskrilla. Word. I fucks with him. Word. Word. Somebody said that I remind them of him, but with all due respect, I fuck with Oskrilla. Me and Oskrilla could do some shit once my shit blow up a little bit. I could definitely see me and him giving off a certain vibe together. Skrilla's official. I like him. He a real Knicks fan. He be having a good perspective too. I think me and him will have some good conversations, and we could definitely get a popping chat line going. So I fuck with him. I like the Hebrew Remnant. I be liking how he be coming. I like his perspective. It's a different angle, an informed angle. He comes with information. You know, I like him. I like him a lot, man. Shout out to him and his channel. It's official. I have a subscription to everybody I mentioned. I try to support all anything that got to do with the Knicks. Shout out to the entertainer. I learned about him messing with Nothing But Knicks and fam. I fuck with him hard because he's a Giants fan, hard body too. He's like me. He fuck with the Knicks and the Giants. So I fuck with the entertainer. I thumbs up all the time. I don't got it right now to do super chats. I'm still working on my show. But once my shit is up, I'm gonna definitely be sending my super chats to my dudes. Like I said, there's not a lot of Giant channels I follow right now, Yankee channels. There's a couple. I don't know all of them by heart. But the entertainer is my favorite dude and the main dude that I go to when I want to find out about the Giants in a way that I care about. I relate to him, and when he talks about like the concerns that I be having too. So I fuck with him. I fuck with the entertainer. Like I said, there's a lot more people Oh yeah, on the boxing tip, y'all already know how I do with boxing. I'm about to get into boxing crazy, so that's what's probably gonna make this shit go over an hour. But I don't care. I don't care because this is what I love to do. But shout out to Fanon. I really like Fanon a lot. I watch him a lot. Blue Blood, I definitely watch Blue Blood a lot too. Um, Champ Side, fuck with Champ Side. BFTB, I fuck with him. There's a few of them that I fuck with that I like. You know, there's a few I don't fuck with. I like niggas that's honest. I like niggas that's raw. Everybody in boxing is hard because it is about sides in boxing. So, you know, I try not to hold niggas' opinion against them sometimes. So I don't always agree with everything. Boxing is as an aggressive sport. So it's funny because I know I'm gonna end up being the same way. It's crazy how they be barking on yo, they be barking on niggas crazy, but it's a real I don't know, man. It's just crazy. Boxing fans, the debating aspect of boxing is probably like niggas are getting into a real fight over talking about boxing. Like seriously. I think maybe hockey fans and soccer fans probably only the closest thing. I don't even think UFC fans be ready to get into it. Nah, boxing fans is crazy, man. Bro. So real quick, before I get into the boxing, let me talk about the Giants, man. The Giants, man. The Giants are the worst ranked offense in the NFL as of today. That says a lot. Yo, Sosa, get out of here, man. Cut it out, man. I'm live, man. I told you, it's my cat, Sly Sosa. That nigga's bad. He be acting up, and every once in a while, he be getting my attention. He draws my attention away because he just does crazy shit. He does. One day, I'm gonna put up some footage and let y'all see this cat be bugging. And then he's just sitting here right now. He just got up on my lap like a dog. Like, yo, what's good? And now he's sitting there staring at me while I talk to y'all. But anyway, leave me alone. I'm busy, nigga. You got food and water. So, the worst offense in the NFL. And then my man, Danny Dimes, right? That name, we're going to have to change that shit because he got to earn that. And it's sad because, like I told y'all in the video I made about the Giants, last week was crazy because we lost, but you could see the potential. You could see the line growing. We made some pushes in the game. It was nice. But Daniel Jones, man, he's ranked 29th, man, out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL. Man. Let's be honest, Giants fans, like, y'all got to calm down. With the Giants, it's all about patience, man. We already been through enough bullshit when Eli was leaving. I touched base on that. It was real whack, but we are where we at. We got to chill and let this, we should have been building the line. I don't agree with the people that say we should have started building the line and not draft Saquon. We had more than one pick. There was no way you don't pick Saquon Barkley. We should have been working on the line before we even had the opportunity to draft him. That's why we were in that position in the first place. Eli's career could have ended better here if we had started to do that sooner. And it is what it is. Once again, it's like the Carmelo Anthony shit. Stop talking and come crying about shit that the damage was done and we already moved past that and we working on a solution and you still talking about something that happens. Like chick shit, man. Leave that shit alone, please, man. Fellas, cut it out. So, that being said, man, the Giants need time, man. The offense needs time. That's another thing. Like, how can you expect the Giants to be winning this season when Garrett just got there? The line is just put together. They got a brand new offense. This is the first season that they running this offense. What about, we got all these young guys that we trying to, groom on the line. How fast you think they're going to learn an offense that they, this season come after just learning some whole new shit last year? especially the rookie guys and all that. Like, come on, are you serious? You're bugging out. Slow down with your expectations. It's gonna take time. As time goes, we might see something nice. Then maybe, you can't bitch about play calling, and we can't throw. First of all, Danny got to hold on to the ball because the line doesn't give him time. He needs another second or two. So therefore, we got this fumble situation that's constantly happening because these defenses, they touching Jones. They getting to him. So how you expect him to be able to throw down the field accurately and for us to progress that way? Right now, we got to worry about the line establishing the time that he needs to be able to complete plays, man. Chill. When the line gets better, Garrett can start attacking downfield more. Right now, he can't. We need a run and we need blocking to get established so that the quarterback gets time. Y'all got to chill with everything else. Nothing else matters. And I just want to say shout out to the entertainer because a lot of that what I've said is very similar to what he said. And so not that his opinion is mine, but I just want to give him credit because I agree with what he said. His video came out before mine. So I don't want to seem like I'm copying off him. It's just that those are the factors that I see that matter right now myself. The defense is banged up, and it's funny because we play Dallas, and Dallas right now their offense is doing well, and our defense is what's our strength right now. So this Dallas game is we probably not gonna win, y'all, because right now our defense they tired, they banged up, they've been holding the team down, they've been doing a decent job, they've been sacking, they've been putting pressure on the other team's quarterback, they've been giving us decent coverage. There's only been a few blown plays that you could look at on the defense that were like really outstanding, like in the Rams game when they got that touchdown and shit. But there's not a lot of plays that you could say transpired that way. For the most part, the defense has been satisfactory and a strength and a positive aspect of the team. But they banged up, and so I'm worried about them. I'm worried about us winning this game. I don't know if we're going to be able to win this game because the line on offense is not where it needs to be just yet. And our defense is tired already. And this is something that we had to be expecting coming to the season. We didn't expect Saquon to get hurt, so that changes the dynamics of, and I think that's another thing, being that we had Saquon and we had all of this new, it was the enthusiasm is nice, but we got to be realistic. And so now reality is smacking the shit out of us as Giants fans. So let's see what happens. Like I said, with all this new isn't easy. New can hurt your team. Transition is not an easy thing to deal with, especially for young players, and we have a lot of young new players. All right, cool. Boxing. Yo, this is my first Vamp camp, y'all, and I don't have nobody on the chat. I know y'all gonna end up watching the videos. I love y'all for that, but I gotta get this chat popping because I want y'all to contribute. I want to know what y'all think. I want to know, how y'all think or how y'all feel about the stuff I'm saying. Y'all see, I'm talking about a lot of shit. I got a lot of stuff that I got on my mind that I want to discuss with y'all, and get it. Once again, get it popping. Let's get this talking about sports popping. You know what? Before we get into boxing, a quick UFC note, because I fuck with UFC now, especially with Israel Adesanya, whatever, Asanya. Can't say his name. I'm gonna get his name right. I'll be messing up everybody's name. I'm a butcher. My bad. But IA instead of AI, IA, or what do they call him? Do they don't call him the Macy's? What they call him? I forgot. He got a fire nickname, yo. I'm gonna get that nickname down pat. Once I get his nickname, I'm gonna call him that all the time because he got the fire nickname. I told you I call him the Black Bruce Lee. But him and John Jones. Yo, John Jones is gangster, yo. You know why I say that? Because he's beefing with IA, right? But this nigga trying to fight Brock Lesnar too. Yo, this nigga wants to smoke with everybody. Like, you gotta respect that. That's very respectable, yo, because that is some crazy shit. Those is two problems, man. IA ain't no joke, man. That's the black Bruce Lee, man. Word. He is a problem. Then you got fucking Brock, the psychopathic. This nigga got alter egos. He need to be in wrestling 1 minute, then he got to come to the NBA, MMA. That's. I'm just telling y'all on the low, between me and you, that being confused with who he is and needing to be the wrestler, or then he needs to be a real life, like, just dead. Yeah, he's crazy. He's really crazy, and he's good at what he does too. Like, the nigga actually, like, I think in 2017, the last time he fought him in 3 years or some shit like that he was in a UFC match. But he won, I think, his last UFC match. So, and I mean, he's a big motherfucker. So John Jones is not that big. He's not big. He's not big as Brock. That's a big motherfucker. And then Israel Adesanya is like so fast, and his striking is like, you can't throw hands with that nigga, son. I would love to see a nigga that's a master at the 52 try to fight box with him and see what he do with that. Like, seriously. Word, yo. He's illy. He's different because I don't know if, I don't think the UFC's ever seen a striker like him. He's that next level nigga, yo. Word. And John Jones is undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's undefeated. I don't know what's John Jones' record. I could look that shit up real quick, but right now I'm not gonna do that because this is not a. But like I said, the UFC's popping. There's a few more things going on in the UFC, but that's not my thing right now. Especially, I just want to give them some love because they making it happen. Excuse me, they stepping their game up and on getting the attention of everybody, even in the hood. Like, having black fighters is gonna always do that. We support our own, even though we not the. We might be a little finicky, but we support our own. Let's put it that way. So on the boxing, onto a different martial art. Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz, man. Wow. Is Gervonta gonna knock him the fuck out or what, yo? Like, let's keep it a stat. Yo, they really hoping that he don't make weight. That's their whole plan, and that's Fanon was saying some shit today that I didn't really like. I heard him, and right now that I just said that statement, I gotta give him his props because it's making my wheels turn. And that shit is real. Like, we live in an era where niggas find a million ways to try to duck or beat you outside the ring. Like, they deal with you outside the ring on so many levels that I guess we didn't know about before, but it probably happened. But damn, it's mad. Boxing is dirty, corny tactics like a motherfucker. Like, I had no idea. All the shit that I've been learning about boxing recently, like the background of it, the business, niggas is wicked, man. Real sucker shit, man. Yo, look, all right, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. All right, Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. I understand why Gervonta's taking this fight. They're gonna make money. They're gonna sell. Leo Santa Cruz gotta follow him, whether he's a bitch ass nigga or not, whether he's a duck or not. At the end of the day, him and Gervonta, they gonna definitely make some money on pay-per-view. But now we get into a situation that fucking matters. And this is what I mean about boxing with this new tactical shit. And this is what Fanon did a video about. I don't know if anybody else did, but Fanon's video is the only video I saw today. about that I watched. So I don't want to discredit nobody, but yo, it was crazy because the news is, from my understanding, and I went and I looked it up, and it's true that Kell Brooks' trainer, he don't want to he don't want to accept the fight. It's issues with the fight. Again, more issues, more bullshit when it comes to Crawford and fighting an opponent. And then this is not even a fucking. This is not the best motherfucker he can fight, but it's a decent opponent. That it's a respectable opponent. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's a opponent that we expect him to win against. So this is why it's not the best opponent, but it's still someone who is not an easy victory. You know, this is someone who could potentially, you know, surprise us and win. So if Kell Brook wins, it's a win-win. It's a win for Kell Brook in a lot of regards. This shit would really help him. And if Terrence Crawford lose, he has a lot to lose in losing this match. The reason why I'm saying that is because of the sucker shit that has been put into play. So I'm hearing now the date that was given to Kell Brooks falls into a window where he will only get a 6-week camp. Now, in boxing, for those that don't know, from my understanding, the average camp for a fighter is usually 8 weeks. It's not set in stone. Everybody doesn't have the same regimen or the same practices or same trainer. So time frame, and there's different weight classes, so it's different things that fighters need to do to make their weight or maintain their weight. Some people have a harder time than others. They may need a longer camp, whatever. But from my understanding, the average camp for a fighter to get a decent, complete camp where they get in shape and they get to a strategy and they get to work out their game plan and be properly prepared for a match would be 8 weeks. So why would you schedule to fight 6 weeks with a 6-week window, for training camp? Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that both fighters are in shape. I know that Terrence Crawford is in fighting shape. That's why he don't mind the 6 weeks, because he's naturally not a big guy. He probably walks around close to his fighting weight anyway. So him making his weight is not a problem. He probably doesn't need a long camp. But Kell Brooks is a bigger guy. He needs his camp. We already know that he had issues in the past. He expressed that he had issues with making weight for fights at a certain weight class when he participated in it. Welterweight. That right there means that they know this information, because this is common knowledge, and they're exercising they're utilizing the information to put Kell Brooks at a disadvantage before they even fight, trying to beat him before they even fight. And this is Terrence Crawford, one of the nicest niggas on the planet with the hands. Like, he got to get the fuck out of his deal with whoever is running his career be. That shit is whack. Why all the issues every time we turn around with this dude and his fights? With excuses. It's just this fucking prima donna. And I respect Duke. Like, I understand, like, you worked hard. You know what you are. You know your value. I respect that shit. But, bro, you got to look outside yourself and see what's happening around you and be able to, identify that there's other people with value too. You need to be able to gauge that shit and understand and compare. Or with the like word with Errol Spence, you're not gonna get a 50-50 fight with Errol Spence because his track record, his opponents, what he's doing and what you're doing, there's two different levels to this shit going on right now. Bottom line. So on that note, you can't afford a situation like this with Kell Brooks where you look like once again you looking for any way to have the upper hand besides just going in the ring and whooping their ass with your superior skills that you already clearly have. So Crawford, man, and him and his issues, like I said, man, the sucker shit that goes on in boxing. Um, this is why Gervonta Davis is gonna make weight and knock Leo Santa Cruz the fuck out. And all I know is if Crawford don't cut the shit out and fight somebody that's either Kell Brook or somebody better, he's gonna cost himself a lot of money and he might cost himself an opportunity. Though him and Errol Spence might not never fight. Keep it 100. If Crawford keeps going this way, if he keeps doing this shit, it's like he's doing this shit on purpose. Because if I'm Errol Spence, I don't see why I will fight that nigga at this point. I mean, not until after I've done everything I need to do and I don't got shit else to do. And Crawford is older than him, even though it's only 3 years. 3 years is a lot in boxing because that's 3 years that Crawford could retire earlier than Spence. And if Spence don't get around to fighting him because Crawford ain't worth it, the shit cannot happen. I mean, the shit cannot happen, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope it does happen. I hope Crawford cuts the shit out. Let's see. Um, Ryan Garcia is fighting Luke Campbell. Yeah. And yeah, that was the other shit. The date today, I found out it was on the news. And for Nine made videos and Blue, all these people made videos. I saw their titles, and clearly the news with Ryan Garcia is that him and Luke Campbell are supposed to be fighting the same day that Errol Spence and Danny Garcia is supposed to be fighting, which is smart. This nigga Ryan Garcia is a smart little nigga, man. Very smart. Um, this should bring more attention to the fact that he's fighting. Now, what time they're gonna have it and all of that, I don't even know if that matters because with Ryan Garcia, he got his own little fan base that they're gonna watch him no matter what. He got a lot of non-boxing fans that are fans, so all the people he's gonna get a lot of people that weren't even gonna watch the Errol Spence fight anyway, watching his fight. Plus, he might get a few people that go and watch his fight instead of watching the Errol Spence fight. Not that it's gonna hurt the Spence fight. I just think it's a smart idea because you capitalize on your market and someone else's at the same time. Fuck it. If you get spillover, you get spillover. If not, you still capitalize on what you know you got going in the first place. Smart kid, man. Now, is he gonna beat Luke Campbell? I don't know. I think this is a very good step up fight because Luke Campbell is he's a vet, man. He been around the block, man. He done fought some good fighters. He's not an easy, he's not you can't just say that Ryan Garcia is going to walk all over him. He's not. Yo, Ryan, this blunt's for you, bro. Word. This blunt is for Ryan Garcia. Yeah, this is what I do. Extend those all day. Word. For having some heart, kid. I respect you for that, yo. They be trying to talk shit about you because you handsome. I know how that go. But at the end of the day, bro, you work hard, you got skills, and you deserve every opportunity that you earn. Word. So go out there, beat that man. If you could do it, if you put in that work and you beat that man, you deserve all the credit, all the accolades that you get, kid. And I like to see you do well. I ain't gonna front. I like you. Like I said, because you got heart and you got a lot of people that hating on you. And they don't even know you. They just looking at you and hating on you because you handsome. You know, that pretty boy shit. So you not no pretty boy though. You a fucking rough ass cat on the low. You can't help how you look, but you got that heart. So capitalizing on both. I respect that shit. That's my dude. And of course, um, the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury saga continues. So I'm not even gonna get into that because with that shit right there, it's so much speculation. Everything is still unsure. We don't know what's gonna happen. We got a date. We don't got a date. Let's just see. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, we already got a date. We know that's popping. So I'm not even gonna talk about that because I already said it. I'm scared to death. I love Roy Jones. I feel that's my GOAT. Personally, I love him. I think that he's the greatest boxer of all time. I believe that his accomplishments in the sport is unparalleled. And it's you gotta respect it. This is why a lot of motherfuckers is doing what they do to try to be competitive to put their name and say that they're the greatest because that shit Roy did was amazing. The way he moved up and then the specific weights that he fought in where um once again he was but I believe he was a natural middleweight and the dude went all the way up to heavyweight. I'm not gonna name all the divisions and this and that because all that Pacquiao trying to get 10, 12 divisions, it don't matter to me with that shit because Roy went up to heavyweight and he beat a real heavyweight. Once again, people try to discredit John Ruiz, but if you look at John Ruiz's career and his record, that motherfucker was a real heavyweight. He was a champion. Hey, and how many motherfuckers in boxing pick and choose which champion? It's funny with Roy Jones' story because I don't think it was so much that Roy Jones didn't want to fight the toughest competition to become champion. It was that if you remember at the time, if you're a real boxing fucking fan, like you're supposed to be a historian, and you remember the climate, because I'm from New York, so I remember the climate in my city and what was going on when people were talking about that topic. And you were hearing that a lot of people didn't want to see him fight Mike Tyson back then or Lennox Lewis. This is how the Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson fight ended up happening. Remember, Roy Jones was trying to fight Lennox Lewis. He was trying to fight Mike Tyson. Roy Jones was trying to fight them. But there was no market for that. That's why he went back down in weight. Because after John Ruiz, they wouldn't take him up on trying to explore him fighting any of the champions in heavyweight because they felt like it wasn't worth the risk because they didn't see him winning back then. They doubted Roy. And Roy couldn't fight with the whole world of boxing, so he went back down. And that was his demise. That was the beginning of his demise. Him trying to I guess, appease to the doubters and just, move forward and not do what he usually does and do what he wants to do, it cost him everything. But I will never disrespect his legacy the way a lot of people do because I realize the dynamics of how things happen to him, like I just expressed. And I respect everything that he did. I look up to that shit. I think that shit is amazing. As a fan of boxing from a little kid, watching Ali, Larry Holmes, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, I could go on. I remember watching Hagler. You know what I mean? My family's from Patterson projects in the BX, so I know about Iran Barkley. I know about Roberto Duran. I loved Sugar Ray Leonard. That was my other favorite fighter as a little kid. Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, and Sugar Ray. Couldn't go wrong as a little kid. We was outside play fighting. He was one of them dudes. That was a good character. I don't know, man. It's crazy, man. Boxing is deep. So, last but not least, like I said, I want to save the best for last. I want to talk about Errol Spence real quick. Nah, I ain't gonna say real quick because that's my man. I want to talk about Errol Spence. I'm not gonna rush to live. I don't care if nobody jumps on. I'm a vamp. I'm the champ. This is Knicks Vamp Camp, and that's what it is. Because I still got to talk about the Knicks. So this is what I do. And next week I'm gonna come back and do the same thing. So Errol Spence, man, versus Danny Garcia. Let's get into that real quick. Errol Spence, yo, I know he's so tired of all the rumors, man. Every time you turn around, they got something to say about this kid, man. I know he be wishing they just keep his name on his fucking mouth out their mouths. But then I know too they probably don't mind because that just means he making more money because they keeping him relevant, even if it's on a negative aspect. When you in that position, I guess any news is good news. Pardon me, this for coffee. But you just hearing all kind of dumb, stupid ass rumors all the time. So now niggas got a problem with him being in fight shape and fighting at the weight or the size. The way he looks now he looks like he's weight drained. What was the other dumbass thing they were saying? This was the other here we go trying to beat a nigga before y'all even get in the ring. Another sucker tactic. Even with Errol Spence, like everybody, like what the fuck is up in boxing with this shit? Bust this one. How Cats is out here saying that Errol Spence shouldn't be fighting Danny Garcia on the back foot. That if he does that he's robbing the fans of what they paying for. Man, listen, man. I can't even repeat. It was such bullshit that I didn't even want to let it register. But I couldn't help it because I'm a boxing fan, so it caught my attention. So what I heard was enough, and that's crazy. Y'all just want Errol Spence to fight in whatever manner is easier for him to lose to Mikey Garcia. That's crazy. Y'all really gonna sit there and try to create a narrative so that this man can have a game plan that works in the favor of you, whatever style he comes in the ring with and whoops that ass, he whoops that ass. If we get a knockout, we get a knockout. These are two very good fighters. Danny Garcia has knockout power in both hands. He's a counterpuncher. If Errol Spence don't go in there fighting off the back foot, there's gonna be a boring ass fight. He has to go in there fighting off the back foot because Danny Garcia is not gonna initiate contact. So Errol Spence has to be as agile as he can be when he's initiating anything. What sense would it make? They both gonna be standing around, stalking, circle each other, waiting for somebody to throw. But it's gonna be a horrible fight in that aspect. So I expect Errol to exercise some boxing technique. Sorry, y'all Hispanic people that's scared to see a black boxer use his athleticism in the ring. Sorry. And I'm Puerto Rican and black. And I'm saying it. That shit is whack. That's whack. If you're going to win, you're going to win. There's athletic Hispanics too. Utilize your, it's Hispanics that know how to box. It's white boys. Look at Caleb Plant. Look at Caleb Plant. So I don't want to hear it. Ain't no excuse. Look at Caleb Plant. So if Danny Garcia can't fight like Caleb Plant could fight, if Errol Spence can do some of the things that Caleb Plant could do, that's not Errol Spence's problem if Danny Garcia can't fight that way. Because it's possible. That's not how they train you. Why the fuck Errol got to change his whole style to accommodate this nigga so that we could get the fight, quote unquote, that the fans is this man. If y'all don't stop with this corny shit in boxing, please. Whew, had to get that off my chest. Well, good luck, Ryan. Errol, I'm going for you. Definitely going for Gervonta. I expect Crawford to fight somebody. I don't know. I can't say who I can't choose for Crawford yet because as usual he ain't fighting yet nobody until we nothing official. If I miss any other fights, I apologize. I gotta check the schedule and I gotta make a video strictly for boxing. But because I haven't done one in a while because I've been on my Knicks shit. But that's because as usual we save the best for last. Knicks Vamp camp. It's time to talk about these Knicks. And there's been a lot to talk about. I've been making a lot of videos because the draft is coming. It's already October 10th. And before you know it, we will be having a lottery. It's going to happen. They're going to make some decisions. They're gonna make some moves, and I'm worried because this Chris Paul shit, man. The draft and trades are connected right now because we know free agency is on hold for a second. It's about that's coming too, but the draft and trades are everything right now. So I know that I'm new to the game. I know that I don't have I don't have video footage to go with the content that my videos contain, but neither that doesn't really matter because like I said, I believe that I would like to have more of a talking I want my platform to be more about opinions. But I will do some videos with footage soon. I'm gonna learn. Right now, like I said, I gotta get the technology up. When niggas do start watching my shit, maybe I'll get some Cash App hits and it'll help. For right now, I'm not begging. Like I said, this is a hobby. So if I don't get no bread from this, don't matter. I'm still gonna do it. But y'all just got to be patient with me with the equipment and the sound. I apologize once again, but rent and all that shit come first. Car insurance, you know what I mean? I got bills and I'm solo. I ain't got no girl, none of that. I'm living that single life and I'm loving it. So on the real, shit is different for me. But anyway, the Knicks and these draft picks. I made some basketball cards, I like to call them. I made some videos where I sat there and I gave you guys some information on some draft prospects. I picked 7 guys that everyone isn't talking about for the Knicks, but maybe we should be. Um, I gave you some stats. I gave you my perspective on the footage that I saw, and there was some nice. I think that they were some nice selections that I proposed. Y'all should go back and check out my basketball playlist of the basketball cards for the Knicks prospects. Um, give me a thumbs up. You could give me a comment. I always try to check and make sure I leave you a comment, reply to your comment. If I have a problem, I'll go to your channel and I'll just leave something in your discussion board. So if you notice that I didn't reply to your comment directly, YouTube be bugging sometimes. So maybe you check your discussion board and see if I replied there. But until that starts happening on a more frequent note, let's talk about no, we're not talking about trades. I'm not gonna do it. Like I said, I just wanted to bring up the fact that this Chris Paul trade is the one I'm worried about the most because it sounds like they might be doing that. Um, it's not set in stone, but it's just the speculation. That one is getting the most speculation. And so that makes me worry a little bit because, the rumor mill, sometimes they're off. Remember when Durant and Kyrie was coming to the Knicks? So let's see, man. I hope they're wrong again. I really do, because I don't think Chris Paul is the way to go. I also made videos about that because this bothers me. There's guys out there like Drew Holiday. There's other people that we could get, man. Um, like I said, you got that kid out there, Buddy Hield. There's other moves that we can make that make sense, and we could also acquire draft, position with that as well, and get more, or get where we could either get more picks, and more players. Yeah, bottom line. Another reason why I don't want to talk about trades like that is because I'm not sure which players the Knicks value that they're gonna include in trades or wouldn't include in trades. We know that there's certain players that we know are untouchable. We know Mitch is untouchable, and of course we know that RJ is untouchable. But then again, are they? I mean, especially Mitch. I mean, is he untouchable? You got guys like Kenny Wooten in the background. One of my subscribers brought that up. Um, and that was a good point, man. We got guys like Kenny Wooten. Are they gonna ever get burned? I made a video about that too. What's the G League for? We got guys like Jared Harper, Kenny Wooten. We got a couple of guards in the G League. We got shooters. We got Iggy. We got players that we need to see what they could do, man. And we got time because we not winning the championship in the next 2-3 years. So let's actually let this team grow. Let's see what we have in house. Let's build a farm system. Farm systems work in all sports. If you can produce a farm system and be able to generate talent from within, it's always cheaper and it's a quality investment because in the long run it creates stability. Let's put it that way. Because you're already working on what you need before you need it, instead of waiting until you need it and scrambling trying to get it. So another reason why trades is kind of hard to talk about, like I said, is because we don't know who they value and are they going to keep Julius Randle? They could restructure his contract. I mean, everybody's stuck on how much money he makes, but this is a business, and maybe he can come back. Maybe he can stay. Maybe they'll have him as the backup center sometimes. Maybe he doesn't play power forward for us no more. Maybe him and Dennis Smith Jr. Um, you know, figurehead the second unit. You never know. I mean, we don't know what this coach is thinking. We don't know what this staff is thinking. We don't know, and that's what makes it a frustrating. It's exciting, but it's frustrating to try to guess on shit when there's so many factors and so many players and things that they could be just planning. This is hard. So, like, I don't know if Randall's staying or not. It sounds like the coach likes what he sees, but that could also just be to keep his stock high, you know. And the way Tibbs don't give out information. You're not gonna know what he's gonna do. So we're not gonna know where he really stands because he don't care what we think. And I mean like the media. It's not that he don't care what the fans think, it's the fact that he has to communicate to the fans through the media, and he don't give a fuck about what the media think. He's not gonna tell them everything. And if he has deals and shit in place or they're working on, he can't, depreciate the value of his players saying negative things. So, you got to take everything they say with a grain of salt. So trades are just bullshit, but nothing right now but speculation, rumors. Um, but as the draft comes forward, the problem is that they're very strong possibilities. But as a Knicks fan, we don't know which possibility is the one that will come into fruition. So I'm not gonna drive myself crazy. I said enough about that. That was like 5-10 minutes on that shit. Um, whoa, real quick. Finals note. Forgot about this. Yo, I forgot. You know that the Lakers was undefeated in their Black Mamba jerseys in the bubble. Tonight was the first time they lost in those jerseys, yo. Well, I wonder what kind of coincidence that is. Serious. I don't. It's a spicy footnote. One to think of. Something to think about. Something to notice. I don't know if it has any significance. If anybody can think of if there's some significance behind that or not, let me know. But I just thought I'd mention it because, like I said, you couldn't help but notice that it was something that it didn't happen. This was the first time it happened, so just wanted to bring that up. Um, Wow, the Lakers is trying to get 17 chips, man. That shit is not fair. Word, that shit sucks. Yo, and the Heat are working on what? This is gonna be their fucking third one, fourth one. Oh man, like fucking oof. Yeah, back to the Knicks, man. I so more I want to talk about the draft, right? I already talked about circumstances and shit with the trades. But I want to talk about who the news that I did hear, because we are talking about everybody's talking about the players that we should get. But I got some spicy tea for y'all that I got from Mark Berman and what's this kid named Cody Taylor from the Rookie Wire. Cody Taylor writes for the Rookie Wire online, and Mark Berman, you know, he works for the Post. And both of them have articles that talk about the Knicks. You know, how do I say it, man? Damn, it's so fucked up. But basically, man, the Knicks are really starting to shy away from even thinking about drafting Cole Anthony. Um, Cole Anthony's probably not going to be an option for the Knicks at all. Um, at least they did consider him to some degree, clearly because it made news. So it's not like they didn't think about him. So that would have probably been a little more disrespectful if he was never even in their thoughts. But I know that there's some people that wouldn't have mind getting him. And I know there's people that's worried that he's going to end up being a star in the league. And there's all kind of videos. I didn't watch the videos. Like I said, a lot of times I see titles and it just sparks thoughts as I'm scanning through. So, but I did see that there's somebody out there. Y'all should search if you're interested in this topic. But there was videos about this, man, about Cole Anthony, man, about his the Knicks not feeling him, and how nervous that people are about what if he does become a star in the league. You know, is he being given a fair shake under the circumstances? See, that's the shit too. Like, some people are not basketball fans. Everybody's not a fan on the same level. You got people that are diehard, deep fans that go out there and they seek information and they gobble that shit up. I mean, they know everything that's happening with the team as it happens. You have the fans in between that they are informed and they die hard. You know what I'm saying? That's a notch below. But they may not know everything that's happening at the moment, but they keep up with the team. They on point. Then you got the casual fan, you know. Yeah, the one with all the opinion, the one that takes other people's thoughts and they take information from people and sources without really researching, and they go out there blurting all this crazy shit, and it can cause confusion and arguments and all kind of extra shit because, you know, once again, the casual fan is still a person and they have a little investment in the sport too, and they want to be heard. They have an opinion. Is it valid? Is it accurate? Not always, but everyone is entitled to their opinion, and this is the position that the casual fan has, and they exercise that shit. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the Knicks right now. What's the trajectory at? We know they had the camp. We know that shit was cool. We got a lot of good feedback, especially about RJ. Um, it's confusing once again because I heard good shit about Kevin. You heard nothing but good stuff. And like I said, Tibbs not gonna say nothing about who he gonna trade. He not gonna say nothing bad because right now everybody's probably on the block. So there's no way to read into that shit. So we just gotta hope for the best. Um, and like I was saying, the interest in Cole Anthony, according to like Mark Berman and Cody Taylor, like I said, you should go look at their articles. You got a couple of guys with videos, and they're saying that the Knicks' interest in him is low, if any, right now. That he's probably not a candidate for our team. And there's people that are speculating that that could be a big mistake a lot of teams are making, because Cole Anthony's circumstances as in college, were pretty hard, and the casuals don't know, man. Like the kid was injured and he rushed back to come and play, even though the team wasn't a good team. He knew that he was going to have a lot of responsibility, and no matter what the outcome, it was going to fall on him, and he accepted that. And there's people that look at that in a very high regard. There's people that think that's NBA character right there. That's the type of character that perseveres in the NBA. And he possesses that. Not to mention his offensive skill set is very high. And once again, sometimes with defense, people get crazy about defense. They're very selective when they want to bring defense up about players and shit, because everybody in the NBA is not a lockdown defender. Everybody in the NBA is not a capable defender. Everybody in the NBA is not a willing defender. There's people that are willing and they're not capable, and vice versa. There's a lot of different type of players in the NBA. So trying to put a stigma on Cole Anthony about his defense when on his team that wasn't his position, as far as I mean, he had a load to carry on that team. And I'm quite sure we all know, yes, he had a steal here, there, whatever. I mean, y'all want him to be Gary Payton and y'all want him to be fucking Allen Iverson. Like, come on. I think it's asking a lot. I feel bad because Cole Anthony is kin. That's Greg Anthony's son. And Greg Anthony's a Knick. Not only is he a Knick, he was a member of one of my favorite basketball teams, the UNLV Running Rebels. Yes, I'm that old. I got to see the Running Rebels play. I got to root for them. Word. I know ball. So yeah, it's a little awkward, hearing the negative things that they have to say, or the position that the Knicks have about Cole Anthony, knowing that his pops played for us. And even though Sam Cassell bust his ass in the finals, Greg Anthony tried. He was a serviceable player, man. He gave us effort for many years, well, for the years that he was here. And I'm always gonna have love for Greg Anthony, regardless if he didn't have that moment in the finals or and Sam Cassell did. I always bring that shit up. That shit was crazy. Sam Cassell was a rookie. Greg Anthony was a rookie, and Greg Anthony had an awesome college career. And Sam Cassell was like the Rockets. He was the underdog in that moment where, even though the Rockets were a good team and they had Olajuwon, the Knicks were more popular, coming from a bigger city. More people were Knicks fans. Most valuable franchise in the NBA from that in that time period up till now. Like, come on, let's be real. So I don't know, man. It's hard being a Knicks fan, y'all. It really is. It's been a long time. Like I said, we got about 25 years of fucking up draft picks, bad front office decisions, squandering players when we had them in their prime, squandering players when we had them in their youth, fucking up great coaches' careers. Yo, it's been a long time of a lot of bullshit, man. A lot of bullshit. And I'm hoping it's about to stop and change and go in a different direction, man. Could go back towards the way we used to be. Word. I miss that gritty, you know, hard working blue collar team that gave you so much effort every night, shutting teams down on defense, fucking up the NBA's money. That's why they made the game the way it is now, because of teams like the Knicks. That's probably why we're going through the shit we're going through too, because we represented a style of play that the NBA doesn't want. Yo, what up, Steve? Boom, look at that. An hour and 40 minutes. I got my motherfucking man, Steve Mendez popped up in the chat. Yo, it's just me and you, Papa. Yo, I talked about a lot of shit, but if you got anything you want to talk about or bring to my attention, let me know. I don't know. You seen that Yankees game? I'm hurting behind the Yankees too, man. The New York sports year, man, 2020. I'll be glad when it's over, man. We don't have anything to brag about. Word. We don't have shit to brag about this year. The Giants are not going to be good. The Yankees got bumped. The Knicks are in limbo. I don't want to talk about the other teams, the Ets, because I don't like to deal with the Ets, because I got the Knicks and the Giants and the Yankees already. That's enough stress, y'all. So no disrespect to anybody that fuck with the teams that end in Ets, but I don't. None of them. Especially not the one in Brooklyn. Don't do them at all. Word. I talked about boxing. What else I talked about? Talked about Giants. I was on my Knicks shit, man. Word. So the Knicks, being a Knicks fan, you know, like I said, this has been a hard year. We in limbo. And we got to see what's going to happen, y'all. We got to be patient. I don't know if y'all saw my rant, but we got to stop feeding into these stupid ass rumors about trades. Y'all really need to look at my basketball cards, and we really need to, yo, shout out to Killian Tilly, man, from Gazanga. Yo, that's my last card I made, because that's the kid that I feel is the Knicks Nation need to learn about him. Go watch his Steve, go look at Killian Tilly. He plays for Gazanga. Go check him out. Go look at his footage, his highlights. The Knicks need him. We can snatch him at 38. This dude is so under the radar, and he is everything the Knicks need. Word, as far as power forward. Yo, man, like in my cards, I started doing references. So I started comparing the players that I was talking about to who I think they reminded me of in the NBA. And Killian Tilly, bro, that's Kevin Love, bro. Rebounds, defense, blocking shots, wetting threes. Yo, a good player, man. Knicks fans, please, man. Yo, put that pressure, man. Spread the word about this kid, man. All the guys that I named, they all could shoot. Or everybody that I picked could shoot. Word, Tyrell Terry could shoot. Sadiq Bey. I mean, everybody that I talked about, they can shoot. Some of them play defense. They're on both sides of the ball. If they didn't play defense, they can run the offense. It's just hard right now with the Knicks, like I said, because we don't know who they truly are interested in. We do know they're not fucking with Cole Anthony. That's the news for today with Cole Anthony and the Knicks. As far as that goes with him, so we could definitely scratch him off the list. I was talking about that Chris Paul trade too, bro. Yo, Sadiq Bey, I'm thinking that we should snatch him up with the 8th pick. If Obi Toppin is gone, I believe Obi Toppin is going to be gone. Killian Hayes will be gone. And if I had to choose between Tyrese Halliburton and Sadiq Bey, even though I know that, I think that Sadiq Bey just offers more of what we need on every level. Halliburton is only one position. He's just going to play the 2. Where Sadiq Bey, because he can shoot and because of his IQ and his strength, he can play anywhere from the 2 to the 4, depending on the lineup. and be effective. And that's the kind of player like I was talking about in a lot of my videos, bro. I want to go with more high IQ basketball players. I want to go with players that know the game. Um, and then worry about position because basketball is becoming positionless. They have Europeanized the game, which I've talked about. Once again, no offense. And the game is about IQ, not how high you could jump no more. So the shooting is important, but if you got a guy that can play defense, can shoot, but he can also rebound and block shots, you're gonna take him off the guy that can just play defense and shoot. Because we need to have as much contribution going forward as possible. And Sadiq Bey does that. He fills every category. I already told you, like he had like he is registered in every statistical category. He has one of everything averaged. Like some players don't get a block for the season average. They don't have a complete steal. Some people have, believe it or not, point something in their average. Some players don't have a whole block. Dead ass. It happens because remember it's an average. So you pay 31 games and you only got 2 blocks. That's gonna be 0.02, right? Word. I like Devin Vassell a lot. Word. Steve asked me what I think about Devin Vassell. I like Devin Vassell, but what I was saying, Steve, was that the Knicks needed to make a trade. If they're gonna make a trade instead of trading for Chris Paul, I suggested 3 trades. One of the trade I like Vassell. Yes, he is a dog, Steve. Word. But this was my thing. If we could trade Randall, we could trade Randall, we Alpha Payton or Wayne Ellington. Their salaries with the 27th pick and the 38th pick, right? And then we'd be able to either make a trade with the Pelicans and get Drew Holiday, and I believe it's Jaleel Okafor in the 13th pick. Boom. Then we could think about doing something like getting Obi Toppin and Devin Vassell. Feel what I'm saying? Or we could trade with San Antonio and get their 11th pick. I believe they got the 11th pick. Randall and Ellington again, the 2 picks, and we could snatch up because everybody's bugging about DeRozan, but we don't got to get DeRozan. Yo, we could get LaMarcus Aldridge from them and get their pick. Word. And I believe there's another player that we could get too. I'm not sure, but I think the salaries match with Aldridge. I ran the trades through. They were fine. Like I said, I did a video about them. But anyway, once again, Aldridge is once again, a power forward. He has a mid-range shot, grabs rebounds, defense, and he could back up Mitch at center too. Feel me? And it's an expiring contract. And we'd get that pick, that 11th pick, and we could draft Sadiq Bey and or to Obi Toppin and or Devin Vassell. Feel me? Now, the third team was Sacramento, Buddy Hield. For the same trade, Randall, the picks, Ellington or Wayne or whatever his name is, Peyton. And we would get Buddy Hield, and I believe they have the 12th pick. Same scenario again. Like there's ways that we could get 2 good lottery players. Now the thing with Vassell is I keep saying Vassell is Devin Vassell. You saw I did a video with him. If we don't snatch Sadiq Bey and we took Devin Vassell instead of taking Sadiq, I'd be cool with that. I made the video saying that that's the guy I kind of think that. I think that's who that's who the Knicks are probably going to take with the 8th pick. So to answer Steve's question, what I think about him, the bottom line is I believe in reality we will end up with Devin Vassell as our 8th pick. But I just been campaigning for us to take Sadiq Bey because, like I said, I think he has a little more to offer. And the thing that's funny about both of them, both players, yo, they fucking dogs, like Steve said. Yo, Vassal's a dog, and so is fucking Sadiq Bey. That's why you like them, right, Steve? Because they come with it. Both of them. That's funny that you mentioned that, Steve, because both players you mentioned got a certain type of grit that's gonna be necessary to be here in New York. So good eye, Steve. And like I said, it's crazy because those are two guys that I made videos about. So I appreciate you. Clearly, you a subscriber. You one of my originals. Never gonna forget you. You know you already you fam. Um, and definitely good convo with that. Yo, you fuck with boxing, Steve? Let me know, man. Word, New York all day. Let me know you fuck with boxing, because there's a lot of shit going on in boxing. I can't wait to get my chat popping about boxing. I'm looking forward to the Errol Spence fight. Devonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. There's a couple of fights, man, and I'm dying to see. I told everybody I'm not looking forward to Roy Jones getting knocked out by Mike Tyson. That's gonna bother me, but it's gonna happen. um, Word, boxing is popping right now. Yo, if you know about boxing, Steve, how do you feel about Jamal Crawford? Yo, hit me with a comment. Let me know so I can let everybody else know someone else's opinion besides me when it comes to Jamal Crawford. Because I don't want people coming on here in the future talking about I'm a hater, because I am not a hater. I fuck with you. I like Jamal. Yo, it's crazy. I was telling my son, I was like, yo, on the real, if like out of a lot of the boxes I be watching, in real life, I could see me fucking like the Charlos being my mans and like Jamal Crawford. Their attitude, their demeanor is the type of niggas I got. Like I got friends like that have their kind of character traits, and their attitudes and shit. I really could identify with Crawford, like the way he carry himself. But you know what I mean? His decision making business wise, like I said, I don't know if this was a game plan that he was aware of, or if this is these motherfuckers. I said Bob Aaron. Yeah, but I don't know if they're the ones that deciding this is the role he's going to take, being that they already got him to agree to. He's getting a set pay, so he's straight regardless of what. He's comfortable. I don't know if he's smart, because he should have realized that his value could raise, but it is what it is with Jamal Crawford, man. I said Jamal Crawford. I meant Terrence Crawford, y'all. Excuse me. I be butchering names. I'm the name butcher. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Steve, thanks for pointing it out. I meant Terrence Crawford, bro. I'm high, and I'm not gonna stop smoking either. So niggas that be commenting that, get off that. It's not gonna happen. I meant Terrence Crawford. How do you feel about Terrence Crawford, B? My fault, Steve. Bugging out, yo. That's how stressed that Terrence Crawford got me. Look, I'm calling other niggas' name. I'm saying other niggas. Because I don't want to believe that he's on this bullshit. Word. I really like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And I was really looking forward to that fight happening. But like I said earlier in this live, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I'm starting to look and see like the way Crawford's doing it. He's trying to beat Spence without before he gets in the ring, and Spence ain't gonna have that shit. He's not gonna give him 50-50, and the negotiation's gonna end up being a problem if they ever get to negotiate, because once again, Crawford is like 33, bro. He's not young. And right now, it doesn't make any sense for Spence to fight him right now, because there's other things he got to do and can do to make more money. Crawford is really not a draw. As nice as he is, he's not a draw, Steve. So I'm worried like Crawford might end up retiring without fighting Errol Spence. Because like, how many years do we have to wait for it to make sense for Errol Spence to fight him, if you really think about it? I mean, he's got a mandatory. The way he's looking, he gonna end up fighting Sean Porter again before he'll fight Crawford, because Porter's already the mandatory. Now Crawford, a lot of the boxing channels, what they've been saying for Blue Blood, a lot of them they've been saying this. The only thing that really makes sense, which is that Crawford should just be fighting Porter, get him out the way, and cut cutting the line so that he could just be next to fight Spence. Yo, Steve said he's going to fight the dude that calls his punches brownies. Who, Kell Brooks? Yo, they were saying that Kell Brook, his trainer, doesn't want to take the fight because Crawford, not gonna blame Crawford. The Crawford side has given them a window where Brook will only get a 6-week training camp. And the trainer feels like, and we all know that boxing, the average camp is 8 weeks. Why is Crawford's camp or team trying to create a situation where Brook will only get 6 weeks of training when that's not standard? It doesn't make sense. So I'm not sure like if this fight is gonna even happen still because of the issues that for some reason Crawford's side keeps making with other fighters, bro. This shit keeps happening, man. And he's not fighting anyone, and time is going by. Hence, me saying him and Errol Spence might not end up fighting, bro. Because his ranking and positioning have nothing to do with the fact that this is still a business and his drawing power is not something that word. Oh shit. Word, Steve. Hold on. Steve fucked up my whole train of thought. Word. Yo, my channel, the first dude that got the balls to keep it 100. Yo, Steve Mendez, I fuck with you. I don't agree with you, but I fuck with you. Steve Mendez, yo, he says he think Garcia got Spence, y'all. Yo, Steve, you entitled to your opinion, and I'm not going to front. Like I said, Garcia is dangerous. He has 2 hands with power, and is the thing is he's a counter puncher. So it really depends on the type of fight that Errol Spence is going to bring to him, because Garcia is not going to bring the fight to Spence. So I don't know if you heard the little faggot shit that I hate to go there because we both Hispanic, but this is the shit I don't like about boxing and the positions that niggas taking. I gotta be honest. You know how the Mexicans are about it's true though, they are about black fighters fighting on the back foot. So the word out in the street, a lot of the Mexican trainers and promoters and stuff are putting out this narrative stating that Spence shouldn't fight Garcia on the back foot because it will be robbing the fans of the fight they deserve. So, you know, you said, Steve said what? Are you Danny is well, he's is I don't know what he meant. I don't know, Steve, you gotta write that shit over. That shit came out crazy. I do think that Danny Garcia is a good fighter though. I think that this is a very, I don't want to say 50-50. I'm going to say it's a 60-40 fight, but as dangerous as a 50-50. I'm saying 60-40 because I just think that Spence can do more. He has shown that he can do more with technique. Garcia is kind of predictable. He's fought the same way. I don't know if he's capable of fighting a different way, but he's only fought one way so far. And that is mainly being a counter puncher, a patient fighter. And so, like I said, he doesn't control, he may not control how the fight goes. He's more of a wait for opportunity. And so that does give Spence the upper hand if he decides to take control of this fight, because that will mean that Garcia might be behind in rounds and he's going to need his signature knockout punch to land. Now, does Spence give him a window to land that shit? Does he make a mistake? We'll see. Right. Danny has good timing, bro. I peep that. I see that. Danny is a dangerous motherfucker if you make a mistake. And as your hand is coming back, his shit could be coming with it. Word. So, I don't know if he's Puerto Rican. I don't think he's Puerto Rican, but shout out to Hispanic boxing too, man. I don't get it twisted, yo. I'm black and Puerto Rican. I love Hispanic fighters and I love black fighters. So that's why I call it like I see it, and I'm honest because we got to be honest, man. Some of my Hispanic people get delusional and they think they white, and that shit is whack, and they take the whack ass position, and I don't agree with it because Hispanic is people of color, man. We speak a derivative of Spanish, but we're not Spaniards. We're not European. We're different, and we 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 got black in us. Whether you like it or not, you can be in denial, but we are the two best, right? In fighting. Bottom line, you see how they try to disrespect and say that the European fighter controls boxing, right? And you know what was crazy? This is the shit I'm talking about. Um, the Mexican community agree with them because they perceive themselves as fucking white European, and that shit is like fucking ignorant, delusional, and I don't know if it's self hate because if you don't know what you are, this is a whole nother shit. But it's just why I give the opinion I do in boxing because I'm from New York, like my man Steve said. See, brother, we black. He's Steve Mendez. You can't front. It's true. Like we from New York, tri-state area, and we come from the melting pot. We deal with everybody from around the world. So us Boricua especially, we far from prejudice because we come in every color. Word. We have color. We have the same issues exactly as the black community does with colorism, the self-hate, all of that shit. Like it's the same. We are the same. We just speak a different dialect from our different conquerors in our region. But at the end of the day, it's the same shit. And shout out once again to my Boricua. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my black people. I love you. All my Hispanics. And we be representing in boxing and we be holding it down and we make the greatest fighters. This history is facts. There's no way around it. And I'm not saying there's not good European boxers and there's not good European basketball players, but look at what the shit that they do in sports to try to even the level, the playing field, the level of competition in there to their favor because we are naturally just so dynamic and awesome. They gotta cheat and bend the rules. Between Tyson Fury and the fucking gloves and the putting the shit in this nigga's water to the NBA changing the rules around so a kid like Luka Doncic, who's not the most athletic player, but is the very fucking smart and highly skilled, can be put in a position of dominance, even if it's for a moment, so that they can claim, they can make their false claims about how great they are or how the sport is transitioning in their favor. And that shit is bullshit. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. Because we're always gonna be better. Yeah, even white boys from here, from America. Sorry, even my white Americans. I'm sorry, I gotta separate them from the European. I do. I don't give a fuck. They can have the same heritage, but at the end of the day, shit changed. White Americans, them motherfuckers is not. They not the same as them fucking Europeans, bro. A lot, especially these new kids, they got soul. They fuck with us, and they understand, and they learn from us because they fuck with us. And they look at fucking the professor. There's a lot of man. Look at Caleb Plant. So white Americans is once again Europeans. Y'all not fucking with us. Y'all gotta cheat. Y'all gotta change the rules. Cause America, that's one thing I'm proud of. That's one thing I will be a nationalist about. When it comes to sports skills, we the best, man. I don't give a fuck what race you try to go at. You go at my white boys, we gonna bust your ass. You go out at the Hispanics, we gonna bust your ass. If you go at the blacks, we gonna bust your ass. America is beautiful. And this is why the rest of the world be hating on us when it comes to sports. And this is why they doing certain shit to try to change our sports so that they will have interest in our sports if they could participate. Because right now, the skill level over here, it just been too high. Especially once we started putting professionals to compete in the Olympics, because that was why the world used to really be able to talk shit to us on in the sports game, because we didn't put our professionals in the Olympics because it's supposed to be amateurs. But once we started being able to, or once we decided to start setting professionals, that shit changed, bro. That shit changed, and now the truth is just sticking out there, and it's a beautiful thing if you're an American. So that's about it right there, man. Yo, Steve is laughing. Yo, Steve, yo. Watch, Steve. Wait till the chat start popping, yo. Yo, the Vamp camp is gonna definitely blow up. Give me time. I'm gonna pop. It's gonna pop. Um, but I covered everything, man. I talked about the Giants, man. You know, like I said, this season, man, anybody that had high expectation is delusional. There's so much new stuff going on with us. We need time. And then with the Knicks, patience once again. Yankees, patience. And the Eds, Steve, yo, love is love. I'll be back next week for the Vamp camp. Until then, I'm out of here. You know why? Because I got it like that, y'all. Peace.